is your My Little Pony read-along book. Every time you hear this chime, it means it's time to turn the page in your storybook. Now, if you are ready, we will start the story of the dance recital. Don't forget to turn the page every time you hear the chime. All right, now let's begin. Normally, Ponyland is a peaceful place to be. The long sunny days and cool starry nights have a way of keeping everyone relaxed. With rainbows glistening overhead and green rolling hills nearby, it's easy for all the ponies to drift from day to day without a care in the world. But every so often, something so exciting happens that the ponies talk about nothing else for weeks and weeks. This is exactly what happened when they planned their dance recital or show. It wasn't just any dance recital, but rather one in which every single pony in Ponyland would perform. The recital would celebrate the opening of a wonderful new place in Ponyland, the Baby Bonnet School of Dance. To prepare for the recital, two twinkle-eyed ponies had been practicing all morning out on the soft green pasture grass.
How do I look?
Asked Fizzy as she spun around on her hind legs. Galaxy smiled at her friend Fizzy. The beautiful green pony with a multicolored mane and tail was so very cute, and she tried so very hard to be graceful. But somehow, Fizzy always managed to come out looking so very clumsy.
You look fine in your new red tutu, Fizzy,
said Galaxy.
It matches your beautiful red twinkle eyes. But do pay attention to your steps rather than to how you look. Now try it again. Step, 2, 3, kick. Step, 2, 3, turn.
Fizzy moved as gracefully as she could through the steps of the dance she was going to perform with Galaxy. Galaxy knew all her steps, but poor Fizzy was having a hard time. She just couldn't seem to get it right.
Look out!
Shouted Galaxy, but it was too late. Fizzy had stepped onto a moss-covered rock in the pasture and slipped. The next thing she knew, she had landed in a most undignified position. Galaxy knew better than to laugh at her friend. After all, Fizzy had been trying as hard as she could. Galaxy trotted over to where Fizzy lay sprawled in the soft grass and smiled down at her friend. She tried to make a joke of Fizzy's fall, saying,
"That's a new step I've never seen before."
Then, getting a little more serious, she added,
"You're not hurt, are you?"
Fizzy was embarrassed, but she wasn't hurt. The pretty green pony shook her head no and answered,
"No, I'm not hurt, Galaxy, but my pride is a little bruised. I'm afraid I won't be a very good partner for you in the recital."
Galaxy smiled and assured her friend,
"Don't be silly, Fizzy. You'll be a terrific partner. You just need a little more practice, that's all. Now, come on, get up and let's try it again. After all, the dance recital is only a few days away, and we do want to dance perfectly the night of the show."
Fizzy got to her feet, and the two ponies continued practicing.
Step, 2, 3, kick. Step, 2, 3, turn.
Meanwhile, in the bright blue stream which runs through Ponyland, the baby sea ponies were also hard at work getting ready for the recital. They had gathered at the widest spot in the stream and were practicing their water ballet in 2 lines. In the front were Beachcomber, Ripple, and Sea Shimmer, and behind them were Sun Shower, Surf Rider, and Water Lily. With Beachcomber directing the baby sea pony dancers on their floats, the water ballet was looking better and better. Beachcomber was certain that by the night of the show, the baby sea ponies would know every move perfectly.
"We're getting better, but better is not good enough,"
Beachcomber said, smiling.
"We want to be perfect. Come on, let's try it again."
At the same moment, high over Ponyland, the Flutter Ponies were practicing their aerial ballet. Together, in perfect formation, they flew gracefully through the fluffy white clouds floating overhead. Somehow, the Flutter Ponies' routines always seemed to work out perfectly. That's because Flutter Ponies bring good luck. The dance they had planned for their friends was certain to be one of the most beautiful and magical of all the dances in the whole recital, because the Flutter Ponies could fly through the air. All the ponies on the ground gazed up wide-eyed as Forget-Me-Not, Honeysuckle, and Lily did a backflip, and Morning Glory, Peach Blossom, and Rose Dust circled in wide, graceful arcs just above the treetops. Although the baby ponies were the youngest ponies in Ponyland, they were determined that their part of the dance recital would be as good as any of the grown-up ponies. The baby ponies were practicing their simple but pretty dance on the flat green field outside the Lullaby Nursery. Whatever they lacked in experience, the baby ponies more than made up for in spirit. Even though they had been practicing all morning and their little legs were getting tired, the baby ponies had decided to try their dance just one more time. Baby Lofty, Baby Lickety-Split, and Baby Shady were wearing pretty white ballet skirts. Baby Gusty, Baby Heartthrob, and Baby Ribbon had extra bows in their manes and tails. All the baby ponies danced in a circle round and round. They were certain that on the night of the dance recital, all their friends and their mothers would be proud of them. Near the field where the baby ponies were practicing, their mothers and all the So Soft ponies were working out the last details of the beautiful dance they had planned for the recital. Some ponies thought that the So Soft ponies were the most graceful of all the ponies in the land. Today, their dance routine was going just right. They had planned a very special dance with lots of jumps and leaps, and in order to get it right, the So Soft ponies had been practicing for weeks. Ribbon, Cupcake, and Wind Whistler watched as Paradise, Posy, and Surprise went through their part of the dance. Ribbon turned to Cupcake and exclaimed,
Those ponies just keep getting better and better. By the night of the recital, they'll be dancing beautifully.
Cupcake agreed with her friend.
The dance recital's going to be wonderful, Ribbon. I can't wait.
The days passed quickly, and soon the day of the dance recital arrived. As the sun set over the Baby Bonnet School of Dance, thousands of fireflies gathered overhead and lit up the sky. All the ponies arrived for the dance recital in their finest ribbons and bows. Each group of ponies would watch as their friends performed for them. They all gathered on the sloping hill above the school as the pretty pink bow, high atop the recital hall, fluttered in the cool evening breeze. All the ponies were excited. It was almost time for the recital to begin. The Flutter Ponies began the show. Everyone gasped in amazement when they looked up and saw Honeysuckle leading a flying formation of pretty ponies. They danced an aerial ballet in the evening sky, high above the Baby Bonnet School of Dance. They swooped and dove and tumbled gracefully through the starry sky. Everyone cheered as the Flutter Ponies finished their part of the show and landed smoothly on the hillside to watch the rest of the show. The next two performers were Fizzy and Galaxy. Although Fizzy's performance wasn't exactly graceful, she and Galaxy did manage to get through their dance without falling down. And for Fizzy, that was quite an accomplishment. All her pony friends gave her a big hand. Yay! They knew how hard she had practiced, and they were proud of her. Next, everyone trotted down to the stream to watch the baby sea ponies perform their water ballet. Thousands of fireflies gathered above the water and lit up the night as the baby sea ponies splashed and swam and dove and danced. It was quite a show. Perhaps the prettiest dance of the night was performed by the So Soft ponies. They pranced and leaped in such perfect formation that when their act was over, they got a standing ovation from the crowd. Now it was time for the grand finale, the Baby Ponies Ballet.
I'm nervous.
Whispered Baby Lofty to Baby Shady.
Don't worry. Everyone out there is our friend.
Exclaimed Baby Shady.
Now come on. It's time to dance. They're playing our music.
When the baby ponies tiptoed on stage in their pretty pink tutus, the crowd went wild. No one had ever seen anything that cute before. No one expected the baby ponies to be perfect ballerinas, but everyone was in for a big surprise. The baby ponies had been practicing for weeks, and not one of them missed a step. They twirled and leaped all over the stage as their loving mothers and smiling friends watched proudly. When the baby ponies finished their dance, everyone leaped up and cheered. There was no question about it. The baby ponies were the hit of the show. By now, the hour had grown late. It was past the baby ponies' bedtime, and although they were excited, their big, beautiful eyes were starting to blink. Baby Heartthrob could hardly keep her big blue eyes open. And as she and her mother headed toward the lullaby nursery, Baby Heartthrob asked,
How did I do, Mother? Will I be as graceful as you when I grow up?
Heartthrob smiled. She was very proud of her beautiful daughter, as she said,
Of course you will. You grow more beautiful and graceful every day. Now come along. It's time to sleep.
Soon, all was quiet in Ponyland. All the ponies were sleeping and lost in their beautiful dreams of this wonderful night. Overhead, in the midnight blue sky, a big silver moon smiled down on the quiet, happy valley.